Good morning and Shana Tova, a happy and a healthy and a sweet new year for you, your loved ones, and the community around us. This last month, the month of Elul, we have been treated to wonderful expressions of chesed, of kindness and generosity and compassion told and taught by the members of Valley Beth Shalom. And I want to thank each and every one of them for their wonderful contributions, the contributions of their hearts and souls to our community and our learning together. As well, I want to thank each of you for tuning in each morning and sharing these words of chesed with us. I hope that they inspired you and hope that they lifted you up during this month before Rosh Hashanah. I want to thank Alana Zimmerman, our program director, and Alana Vorspan, our communications director, for their efforts to make this available to all of us during this month. Before we begin this Rosh Hashanah season, I am reminded that this year, 2020, is the 50th anniversary of when my teacher and friend Rabbi Harold Schulweis came to Valley Beth Shalom. I first heard Rabbi Schulweis on Slichot in 1970, just 50 years ago this last week, when he came and gave his very first sermon to VBS, and his very first Rosh Hashanah will be remembered this next week. 50 years ago, this great rabbi, this wonderful mind and deep heart came to our community, and he taught us something very, very important, that whatever we say about God, we are saying about ourselves. The Talmud, the Bible teaches that when the children of Israel arrived at Mount Sinai, God spoke to them, but he spoke to them not in the plural, but in the singular. I am your God, God said. And the Midrash asks, how is that possible? They said, well, everyone who heard the voice of God heard God speaking just to him. God was like a mirror. No matter how many people stare into it, they see themselves and they see what they need to see in themselves. And the God of Mount Sinai spoke to each of us and told us who we were meant to be and what we were meant to do in the world. And so Rabbi Schulweis taught us as well that all of the prayers, that all of the scriptures, that all of the theology that we raise in praise of God is a direction to us about the lives we ought to live, about the way we ought to transact the world, and how we should touch the world. Rabbi Schulweis had a very radical theology, his theology of godliness. He believed ultimately that God, the word God, is a verb. God is not a somebody, God is something we do. And that each time we do the godly things in the world, we bring the presence of God together close to us. I once asked him, for a radical theologian, you sure pray like a chassid. He sure prayed with passion. How do you pray? What do you say in your prayers, Rabbi? And he looked at me and he said, I just add two words to every prayer. To every prayer, I add the words, through me. And so when I pray, Oseh shalom bimromav v'yaseh shalom aleinu, may the source of peace in the world bring peace here to us through me. Baruch Rofei Cholim, blessed is the one who brings healing to the sick through me. And blessed is the one who feeds the hungry through me. And blessed is the one who shares goodness with all humanity through me. Everything we say about God has to refract back to us. That's the chesed. The idea that God is the repository of chesed is a statement that the chesed we feel within, the love we feel with each other, the compassion we show, the generosity we demonstrate, is something that is built into the universe, but it is channeled through us. We are vessels of that chesed. And that's what Rabbi Schulweis taught me. When he died just a few years ago, I told a story at his funeral. It's a story he told me many times. It's a story about the angels on the day that humanity was created. When God announced to the angels that it was God's intention to create a creature in the image of God, in the fashion of God, the angels were aghast. How could you let a human being so corrupt, so deceitful, so morally broken, bear something as beautiful and pure as the tselem, as the image of God? And so the angels stole the image. And they wanted to hide it from the human being, so the human being would never find it. But where to hide it? And one angel said, put it at the top of a high mountain. And the other said, no, someday he'll climb those mountains. Put it at the reach of the farthest sea. No, someday he'll traverse that sea. Put it at the end of a forbidding wilderness. No, someday he'll cross that wilderness and he'll find it. And finally, there stepped up the most shrewd and cunning of the angels and said, no, my brothers, it's very simple. Put it in his heart. He'll never look for it there. And because God always listens to the advice of his angels, God did that. He put the tselem, the shining spark of divinity, into every human heart, deep, deep in the heart. So deep that it's beyond our reach, but it's waiting there for us. Well, Rabbi always told me that story, and I had to add one line to that story. I'm his student and his friend, and my line to the story was, yes, so deep, but not so deep we can't find it for each other. For the ones who love us and care for us, the ones with whom we share life, the ones we reach out a hand to help, the ones we hold close to us in affection and kindness, they can help us find the tselem deep inside. Just like not one of us can see his own face unaided by a mirror, we can't find the tselem, but with a mirror, with a friend, with a soulmate, with a lover, with a community of friends, we can help each other find the divinity that lives within us and channel it into kindness in the world about us. I want to wish you a healthy and a happy and a sweet new year. Shana Tova Techatevu Techatemu. May the new year bring many, many blessings, and may God bless us all.